Now hit that one. What is going on, everybody? Welcome to the I Tap That Cigar Show presented by Corona Cigar. I am your host, Kevin Shahan, and with me on screen tonight is producer Jessica, and we are coming to you live from the Drew Estate Experience Asset Studios here on the sunny Gulf Coast of Florida. Jen and Kerr was supposed to join us tonight. Kerr is stuck in traffic somewhere in South Carolina, so they won't be able to make it with us tonight. But luckily, we've got a couple of super cool co-hosts in the background that will be joining us this evening. So I need a cigar. I've only smoked one cigar all day, so let's get right in. We're going to jump right into the CigarMedics humidimeter cut and light. Remember, with the CigarMedics humidimeter, you'll always know when to hold them and know when to smoke them.
What are you smoking?
I am smoking. We just come back from the Ybor City Cigar Heritage Festival. We got to spend some time in Claremont at the Florida Sun-Grown Farm. So I am smoking the FSG by Drew Estate and Corona
mine was
Cigar.
64.
64%. And what it is you're smoking?
The Undercrown 10.
The Undercrown.
But I don't do whatever Kevin does and cut the thong. I just move it.
Oh, it's called the Pedro Gomez thong cut, and you need to embrace the thong.
No, I don't have
to. I'm actually going to use the all new Humidimeter Pro. So super cool. As you can see compared, the new Pro has retractable prongs. It is rechargeable. All metal body. So let's turn it on there.
Very cool.
And I am having 61%. I'm having an issue with my Daniel Marshall humidor, and it's not because it's a Daniel Marshall humidor. I switched from my normal humidification packet to a different brand. A company wanted me to try, and I think it is fucking things up. So I may have to switch back. But with that being said, you have a lighter. That's what I hear. So, all right. I wanted to, what was I? Oh, last year or last week was the Ybor City. Did I put that on there?
Why would you say last week?
Last week I was reading my notes and I thought it said Ybor, and I'm like, oh, don't tell me I screwed up the notes. This week, this Thursday, I will be at Corona Cigar Sand Lake in Orlando. For the Red Meat Lovers Club. They present One Night with FSG. It's going to be celebrating beef, brown spirits, and Drew Estate cigars. It's a ton of food. Jessica should have a ticker on the bottom of your screen. In the show notes is a link to the Red Meat Lovers Club, or you can just go to rlmmc.com and use coupon code SELFLESS at checkout. I think it saves you like $10. So it's going to be a fantastic evening, and I can't wait to get out there and see all the guys and gals. And then Friday, I'll post that like tomorrow. I'm doing another event in Brandon, Florida.
For Karen Berger.
Yeah, for Karen Berger. And that one, Karen just asked me to come to the event. You know, we love Karen. We love Bruce. So we're going to, or I'm going to go out to that event as well.
How was your cigar?
It's good. It's good now that I can take a breath.
Yeah,
I got all the stuff out of the way that we're supposed to be talking about, and then we can take a deep breath. Woo-ha. How you doing tonight, Jessica?
I'm good. I'm really good.
How's your Undercrown tea? You don't smoke a lot of Undercrown teas.
I don't,
because I smoke the shit out of them.
Yeah, I don't normally get a lot of cigars that I like because you smoke them.
I do smoke them. But we always keep
or you hide them. Like I went, you're like
hide them.
Any DE cigars that you're looking for are now in these tabletop humidors. So I'm looking in the humidors tonight, and I open one, and it's completely empty. Like, and he goes, "Oh yeah, that one's empty."
Yeah,
I
mean, in my defense, she's looking through the big humidor. Hey, where are all the Drew Estate cigars? I'm like, well, if you turn around, there's 7 Drew Estate branded humidors.
Oh, well, but guess what? I turned around and went in them, and one was completely
Well, there's
empty.
2 that's empty. You know, the big Liga, which is
2.
The big Liga on my nightstand is empty, and then the one back up 25th is empty.
I didn't even know you still had one on your nightstand because that's where all your fucking clothes go.
Well, the reason why that one is now empty is because I like everybody else. I have clean clothes and cleanish clothes. I'm not doing laundry all the time. Not about that. So I had piled up some clothes on my nightstand, and then like 6 months goes by, and I decided, okay, maybe I should start folding some of these cleanish clothes that are on there. And I found a humidor with about 400 Joya de Nicaragua cigars in it, and I'm like, that's where that humidor went. I'm like, where are these Joyas? There's no way I could have smoked all these. Wow. And then I found a mystery humidor. And it was like, I know, it was like Christmas. I'm like, oh my God. I'm like, this is the greatest time of my life.
But we also do have very different palates. And, you're a creature of habit. You kind of smoke the same cigars over and over again. And I like to kind of smoke different things. And so, sometimes I also have oppositional defiance disorder. So like if Kevin's like really digging on certain like brand of cigars, I'll be like, I can't have this.
She refuses to smoke it.
I'm like, forget it.
So all right. So let's get right to it. Before we bring in our guest tonight, we want to take a moment to thank all of our show partners for making everything you see here happen each and every week. There's a lot of time, a lot of energy, and it actually takes a lot of money to do this each week. So thank you to these partners for helping us out. JC Newman Cigars, CigarMedics, Amendola Cigars, We Are the Muscle, Excelsior Tobacco, makers of the Doña Lydia, GTO Cigars, those who know smoke GTO, Corona Cigar, and of course Drew Estate and Experience Acid.
No shit, Manny. Those freaking cheerleaders at the hotel.
Oh, yeah.
I was like, no. It was too early in the morning. I had not had coffee for cheer girls and big bows with glitter. And no.
Yeah, not at 7:30 in the morning. Those girls can just calm the fuck down a little bit.
They were very peppy.
That's it. So, all right. If everybody's waiting for couples therapy, courtesy of Drew Estate Cigars, we have waiting patiently in the Experience Acid Green Room, Drew Estate's very own DJ Acid, a.k.a. DJ Eli, and his fantastic wife, Angelica, a.k.a. Fit Mess Mom. So welcome to the show.
What is going on, guys? Thank you for having us.
You're welcome. And we are not responsible for any arguments that you may have after this show is over or during this show.
We'll come find you.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. We are not hard to find. I never leave this. I never leave this room. it's rare. So how you guys doing tonight?
We're good. How about you guys?
Doing good.
We are doing
Yeah,
good.
it's come back from a long weekend at Ybor City. We were talking before the show, so
Yeah.
I go back to work tomorrow. So I mean, it sucks, but it
Sure.
is what it is. At least it's a beautiful sunny day. How's the weather? You guys are where are you guys coming from? It's not Chicago. You're right outside, correct?
Yeah,
Yeah.
we're about like 45 minutes out of Chicago, but it's pretty nice here today. It's like a 45 or
A
something.
nice
like that, I
balmy
think.
42.
Crisp 45.
Crisp 42, yeah. I got a high of 45 when the sun peaked out.
Which is warm
5
for us. We're like, oh my God, it's like hot
Yeah.
today.
I know, but you guys, everyone's supposed to have a cold winter this year, they say.
Yeah,
But
you got
hopefully they don't.
El Nino this year. So you're
Yeah.
supposed to. I don't know if that whatever.
Oh
It's
my
either
God,
El
yeah.
Nino or La Nina.
All I know
I
is
don't-
that we haven't had a really cold winter in like 10 years here in Florida, and that really sucks.
Yeah,
Yeah,
By
the
sucks, she
crazy
means
thing
awesome.
is,
Yeah.
the crazy thing is like typically like this is gonna be the second year in a row that I can remember right now that
Yeah, what is the mild?
where it's been starting off mild. Like we even get snow sometimes during Halloween. It sucks for the kids, like
Oh, yeah.
But the last 2 Halloweens, like it was nice, and then November up till
It
Thanksgiving
was
nice.
hot as fuck this time. You're sweating.
Yeah, and then now we're in December, which we all know these last couple of months have been going by in a flash. So we're at least knock on wood, because I fucking can't stand the snow. I can't stand the driving it. Don't get me wrong. First fall, nice. You get to see it come down, the whole shit,
Yeah.
jingle
Mhm.
bells all the way, the whole
Yeah.
bullshit, cool. After that, try driving in it.
Santa.
Yeah, try driving in the shit.
Yeah.
Try sliding in the shit. Like it's just, it's no fucking fun. But
No,
yeah, it's
not
kind
at
of on delay. So hopefully it's on the tail end of things. And
So
We'll see.
did both of you grow up there? So did you grow up in the snow, or Eli? It sounds like you came into it. So
oh
He
fuck,
grew
I-
up in the snow. He's just like, warm Puerto Rican hearted and doesn't like it. But we both grew up in Illinois. He was a city boy and I was a suburban girl.
yeah.
Eh,
okay.
yeah.
So where I was from, we had to fight for our parking spots in the winter. Where she was from, they had a nice driveway and they were nice to park
Yeah.
in and garage covered and shit.
That's true.
Oh, so is that where your families are from? That your lineage, Puerto Rico?
Mine's, yeah. So my parents are both from Puerto Rico, born and raised there. I actually spent about a year and a half of my life, right? When I was born in downtown Chicago or in the city, and then we moved out there for a year and a half, and then my parents came back. Angelica here is actually, most people don't realize it, but she's Filipino. They always think she's Latina, but she's Filipino.
Everyone thinks I'm some form
Well,
of Latin.
being-
Everyone always speaks Spanish to me.
Right, but being Filipino also does mean, though, that there is Spanish that
There is
Oh.
invaded. So, like,
Yeah.
they
It
always say, like,
basically is the same thing.
yeah, like if anyone listens to, what is it, Joe Coy, he's
Yeah.
always telling
Oh, yeah,
people,
yeah.
like, yo, we are everything.
Yeah. You
And
know,
we're gonna tell you guys something real quick, and not to side subject. Joe Coy was a good friend of ours, still is technically, but I know he's big now. We used to see him at the local comedy clubs. He
Oh,
always
how
would hang
awesome.
out with us. We got pictures, the whole shit. We supported him. To the last time before he did the big stadium tour, he seen us and he was like, "Oh my god!" Gave us merch, gave us big hugs. Like
Nice.
we've been rocking with him since day one. So he's a comedian that we'd
good.
love
I
to see his
love
blow
him.
up. His
Oh,
blow
very
up, his trajectory's
cool.
been awesome.
Nice.
Oh.
That's all. He seems like actually, like, regardless, like just a genuinely cool,
Yeah.
cool ass person.
Genuine dude.
He really is.
Yeah,
Class act.
I love it. I love too, like when he did his Amazon specials and he was like, "Fuck you, Amazon! You still ended up
Yeah.
taking me anyway. Like, you didn't see my vision. Like, I fucking love that."
so
Yeah,
Yeah,
he's
it's amazing.
He's an awesome
Yeah.
guy. But
you know what's
Yeah.
nice is for two weeks in a row, our guests led into it, so I didn't
Oh,
have to.
not Amazon. Sorry, Netflix.
Yeah,
sorry, it was Netflix that
I-
didn't
yeah.
want him, and then sorry,
No,
I,
that's
had
okay.
I had to correct myself.
but
'Cause I think I said
he-
Amazon.
He paid for it and did the whole shit.
Yeah,
Like, the
himself.
money and everything, which
Yeah.
is fucking insane.
Yeah, I thought that was like a really cool thing that he did. And then they ended up
Yeah.
picking him up, but it was like they didn't want to. Like insane. I couldn't understand how they could not.
it's nuts.
And then I loved when he did his other Netflix one where he brought other Filipino comedians that were coming up and
Yeah,
like, took them
that was
to the-
really cool.
that was freaking awesome. So but
Did you have a nickname for Filipinos?
Oh
when you were
no,
growing
when
up?
we were growing up in New Jersey, we lived by a lot of Filipinos and we used to call them flips, funky little
Yeah.
island people. Like,
Yeah.
you know, like my good friend Arnell is Filipino and he used to be like, whatever. Like That's what everybody called the people that were Filipino because
of course named Arnell. There's always an Arnell.
Yeah, Arnell. See, right? Yeah.
So I'm glad you brought it up because I was about to say like 2 weeks in a row now I had the question like on there like Kerr, find out where their brown skin comes from, and that was last week with Miguel Schodel, and cause I'm like Schodel, but he's brown. Where the hell that name? Where did that name come from?
The German side of his family.
So good thing you brought it up. That way I didn't have to ask. Because that's always an awkward question. So I noticed you're not white. Can you talk about that? So that's always odd.
Well, people that are from like Costa Rica, a lot of times they're blonde hair, blue eyed, and speak Spanish.
Yeah, and it's really very. And they all look very different from each other. Like one could be very dark, and like you said, the other could have like blonde hair, blue eyes.
I have one grandmother, blonde hair, blue eyes, white skin on my dad's side. And then on my mother's side, black hair, dark skin. Yeah, like it was the two drop offs. Like it was just insane.
Yeah, like
I don't know why. That's how Filipinos are too.
Yeah, it's true. Like on my side of the family, my mom's side, like my grandmother and her grandmother were like my mom's mom, and then so I guess it would be my grandma and then my great grandma, like Portuguese and all that stuff. So they had the like olivey skin tone, and some people looked a lot darker, and some people didn't. And then then we have my one grandmother was born in a orphanage in Jamaica, so she was mixed. She was Spanish and Jamaican, but like I didn't get any of that.
Yeah.
Like I took my 23. I was like, I did my 23andMe DNA. Kevin got it for me because like my whole life, like I was like, all right, I've been, I know all this stuff about a lot of my ancestors and stuff, and then there was so much that either I didn't inherit or just wasn't true. And then so I made my mom do it. And my mom does have like a lot. So I was like, all right, I just didn't inherit that part of the DNA. But my dad is German. Like we can trace all his stuff back. I had barely got any German.
I did my 23andMe, and you know what came back? This.
Yeah, Kevin is the whitest person.
99% Northern European. That's it.
I was like, you're white.
Yeah.
That's it. I can't claim anything.
But the one interesting thing is growing up, never once have I ever been told we're Irish on either side of my family. Like never, don't know anyone that has ever said, oh, we have Irish in us, nothing. And I had more Irish in me than Kevin did when I did my 23andMe. I was like, where'd that come from?
Interesting.
Don't know anyone.
Yeah,
not
I would
one
love
person.
to do that.
Yeah, it was really
we
interesting.
talk about it.
What was cool for me though was connecting with people. Like it connects you if you choose to. You don't have to. But like I ended up interacting with like people from like Jamaica and stuff. Like, and we have the same great grandparents and everything. So it was really, really cool to like connect.
Yeah,
like,
yeah. I made mine
people.
public, and I think I have like 50 or 60 cousins from going from second cousins to like sixth cousins.
Yeah.
And they'll show you. And then they can't pinpoint your relative, but they'll try to. And they'll be like, most likely you two shared a great uncle on your mom's side. Yeah. That way you can kind of do a little bit more.
Well, it was
digging
cool.
yourself.
Yeah, it was cool because you can do a family tree. So like I've had some people in my family, I bought it as a gift, so they would do it so I could put them in. And then if you're on Ancestry, you can actually link them up. And then there's what is it, Gmobly or what's that other site?
Yeah, I don't know. There's another one.
There's another site that links up, but it's just cool because I found like these people are my second cousins. Like that's how close it was. Yeah, so I was like, this is insane. Like it was so cool. So
I would love to do that. Like my family's super small, so to connect to anyone would be really fucking interesting.
Yeah, that would be awesome.
Yeah. Wait around Christmas time. They always have good deals.
Yeah, well, they sell it at
kids.
Target now. Yeah. For like, I think like, like for like $60 or $80. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
So,
what is your Target card?
Yeah.
Cashback.
Yeah. So let's get into how did you guys meet? What got you together? Country boy or country girl, big house, big driveway, city boy, like the song. I think.
That's true. That is true. We actually met at work at one of the corporate places we both worked at, and I was a designer. I was a school friend
He was your audio's a little, Angelica. Your audio's a little off.
Sorry. He was. I was in
There
the
you go.
design department. Is that better? Okay. I was in the design department, and he was the mail boy.
Office services, to be correct.
Yes,
please.
Yes, get it right.
Office services. All right.
Whatever you would like to call it. He was the mail boy, and he would circle around, and I would see him. And at the time, he wore a very strong cologne, and you didn't even have to see him.
Sex Panther.
Yeah.
60 time it worked
every time.
So yeah, you would smell him go by, and I don't know how I think we connected on Facebook or something like that.
Yeah, that was kind of like that whole Facebook and the BlackBerry Messenger era. The OPM era, and then we connected through there, and
he would stalk me when I was going to my car.
Great, you're making us look like I was.
Yeah, just admit it. Don't lie to these people. He would drive by in his car with his windows down and his music.
Just shout game at you, from the car.
Worked, I guess.
Hey girl.
Yeah.
Try to get the attention and break the ice and talk and shit like that. Yeah.
So how did you break the ice? Who asked who out? I'm sure the mail boy asked the executive out. I'm sure. Yeah.
I think he was obviously still DJing back then, so he would always be like, "Hey, you should slide through," and we use all these terminologies that I didn't know. Because what do you mean? And
that's the icebreaker, because being a DJ, I could just say, "Hey, look at this flyer. It's my face on this flyer, with an address. Come through, and hang out." And you ended up the first. So funny story is the first event. This is before our first date, but the first event she came out to, I was DJing, and her what's that word I want to look for?
You hated me?
Well, no, I was gonna say the hate part in a second. But her sarcasm is really like mine. I always joke around, fuck around.
It's heavier.
Yeah, you guys see when I want to.
There's way the fuck heavier than
you. Yeah, and then she threw some of it at me, and I was like, "This bitch."
Yeah.
I was like, "What the fuck?" I'm like, "Hold on a second." I'm like, "No." And
then you were like, "Yes."
Yeah, I was like, I said, "This is not gonna happen." And I just kind of brushed it off. Because I was with a crew of I used to roll deep. When I was going out to places, I would roll you would feel my presence because I was rolling deep with a bunch of people. And so I just went back. She started talking shit about each person in the crew that I was with. So I'm just like, who the fuck is this? You don't even know us like this, and you're over here
making fun. It was
and I'm like,
it sounds like that. Trust me, that I feel where you're coming from because I do that. I did that to Kevin. Yeah. That's so funny.
Not do it. There was just no chance I could keep it in my system.
No, I agree.
So I'm just like what the fuck? So then I remember making some excuse about having to go upstairs and sound and something. And I was upstairs in the VIP balcony, looking down at her, scolding at her, and then she eventually left because she kind of got bored with her friends. And then I don't know, again, we started just talking again, and then we just decided to go on a date. And
we actually see a movie because you love movies.
I'm a big movie buff, so we went to go to the movies and went to go see Gran Torino.
Oh,
great! That was your first movie?
Yeah. He was like, "Oh, there's a lot of Asians in this movie. Let me."
Yeah.
Yep.
Oh my god, that's hilarious.
Makes you feel nice and right at home.
Yeah, I can't believe that movie's that old. Yeah, I thought that movie's 5 years old.
5 years.
I don't know. I have no sense of time.
Kevin. Yeah, you have no sense. You have no directional skills, no sense of time, and you never know how to age a kid's age. We had neighbors one time, and there was a little kid across the street. He's I don't know. He's 5. I'm like, he's 2.
Yeah,
he's 2 years old. 5. He's I don't know.
I don't know
because they all look the same age when they're little, and I'm like, okay, whatever. But
sounds like Eli for sure.
Yeah, Sammy Flo said, "How many romantic mixtapes has Eli made her?"
I wish I could say more. I always ask him.
Sammy Flo, what up, Sammy?
Sammy, he's made one in 14 years.
No, there was a MySpace mix I have for you. Then I gave you a one of one bachata mix.
Yeah, that's the one.
Yeah, and then
you started a twerking mix because I wanted a twerking mix.
No, there was another one.
And you never finished it.
There was another one that was in there. Shout out to Sammy. Sammy Flo, I see you.
Yeah, shout out to Sammy.
Connecticut's finest.
We're gonna fight later.
Yeah.
You're gonna,
now-
see, now you guys got to finish that mixtape tomorrow. You're like, it's bullshit. Gotta come home working. Oh my god, he'll be in there and she'll be outside. What are you doing? Like the TikTok,
Working on your mixtape.
drugs. Yeah, like the drugs. So, any TikTok fans out there, you know that reference. So,
I'm pretty sure Willie has more mixtapes than I do.
Oh,
He hosted a mixtape of mine.
oh,
Yeah.
so Eli, you were already DJing when you met Angelica.
Yeah, I was already about 8 years in the game. At that time I was touring too. And we talked about this before because at that time my attention was nightclubs, touring, and I just had the 9 to 5 just to hold the 9 to 5 down for health insurance and shit. But the touring used to almost cause some rifts between us because my time was all involved in being on the road. And
Well, I always forget, but we met and he was young. So I was like, I think I was like 26. And so he was 23. So we always forget that. And he was touring and doing all these things. And I didn't care, but he didn't want to like settle down or have a girlfriend. He would ghost me for weeks at a time. And then he would circle back. Yeah, it was wild.
I put the G in ghost.
Never guess.
Yeah.
He's
Probably
like,
Patrick Swayze because I was ghost.
Yeah. So how long did you guys date before I'm assuming Eli popped the question?
How long did we date for?
It depends on
I
who
was
you're at.
dating you for longer. You were dating me.
Yeah.
That was the biggest unready joke. Like, I'm with him 2 years, but he's been with me 6 months.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, we met in 2008, and then we got married in 2013.
Okay.
So
Yeah, that's about right.
And then two babies later. How old are the babies now?
they're old. One is 15, and one is 8.
Yep. So the spectrum is different. I'm sure, like you guys know, you got your older one that's really older, and then you got your youngest. It's young, so it's like dealing with that.
How's that 15-year-old treating you?
No, but like shit.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Yeah. I just
100% like shit.
Yeah. I had a recently daughter turned 17. So yeah.
Oh my god.
I'm like, and she's my own, like, I don't like, he has a daughter and a son, and then I had two boys and a daughter. So she's in the middle also. She's a middle child. So am I.
Yeah.
Yep. So yeah, she and I sometimes, but she's gotten a lot better. It's like 15 and 16 was really bad. Now she's kind of actually cool and like wants to kind of like talk to me and hang out, but it took a while. Like where my son Graham, who's 24, he's always been my buddy. Like he and I talk all the time still. And then like my youngest son Wyatt is a mama's boy for sure. So, but yeah, but I thought I was gonna kill her.
Yeah, same. It's been quite rough.
It's an interesting landscape, especially in today's form with social media and all that other jazz. He's definitely tested the waters on all kinds of levels, to the point to where it's like it consumed a lot of shit in the house. Like we talked about this on our recent return back to podcasting. Not that we left or anything, we had to take a small hiatus, but we mentioned where we're going to dive into some of situations more because we know there's a lot of folks out there like yourselves that can relate to it, and some folks don't talk about it, but there's just some shit that he started to get into and do and explore where it was just like, hold your fucking horses. Like at our age, when we were that age, like my father put me through a fucking wall if I showed up like that.
I was too much too fast.
Well, I think that's right too, like to say like a lot of parents, I think some people just don't, like they want this image out there like, oh, this is like our family, like we don't do anything wrong or whatever. It's like, no, it's messy. No. Like life is messy. Nothing.
It's so messy.
It's not
like,
smooth.
If you're telling me your life is perfect, I immediately think you're lying.
Yeah.
So I don't care if you have good kids, great kids, whatever the case, but it's never like that. There's no way. No. I mean, I went through like my oldest son actually did go through a phase where he did not like want to get up and go to school, like when he was in high school, and he would just like, and I had to go to work, so I couldn't like always argue with him, but I would trust that he would go, and then I would get a phone call and like, I would get so crazy. So I had a friend come over early in the morning that was like a bodybuilder and pick him up out of bed, literally pick him up. Oh my God.
And shove him out the door in his pajamas. Get the fuck out. Like get out.
Oh my
Because
god.
but that, you know, he went through like a little phase, but like people don't realize like it's frustrating. Like what do you
so
do
hard.
in situations? So yeah, nothing ever goes smooth. Kids do some dumb shit. Dumb shit.
Yeah, that's kind of where we're at right now. He doesn't want to go to school. He doesn't want to do anything. So it's like the struggle bus every day. And you know, when it's every day in the house, it gets really exhausting.
It does.
Yeah,
it does.
It takes over you. So you know, we're just hoping we're kind of at a place where it's at a better balance and we can do, like you said, do the podcast more often and whatnot. So
yeah, nice. And it's good for you guys. You get to vent it out.
Yeah,
for sure.
That's it. So what do you both do now? I know you. I know Eli, you're not a mail boy anymore. So I know you told us when you were on the show last, you work for the gas company, if I remember right.
Yeah, so during the day, I do my, you know, some people would joke with me when I'm out and about doing the bar smokers, like my Clark Kent. I work for the natural gas company, and then my Superman, obviously DJing for Drew Estate plus DJ nightclubs locally. So I'm very, very fortunate and blessed to be able to find a balance to be able to still do both, because I honestly, at my age now, not that I'm super, super old or anything like that, it's just the nightclub scene so different. Like, again, we talked about kids being different. Today's kids are different when it comes to the nightclub scene. So I still do a nightclub that I do that's a college town, which I'm able, you know, to do that and have a little fun with that, even though sometimes they get a little ignorant and stupid. But I'm also able to balance, you know, my live events and my trade shows and bar smokers, which is my bread and butter, which I love, and then still be able to have, you know, my consistent 9-to-5 health insurance and paycheck and bonus, you know, that comes to
that.
that's something. So
that's it.
401k, retirement, all that bullshit.
That's it. So what do you find dumb that new DJs are doing, or they have to do for the kids? Like, you know, it's a lot of like Dead Mouse. You know, it's the costumes, it's the headgear. What do you find? You're like, you see something, you're like, what the fuck is that going on?
You know, it's for me personally, like the gimmick DJ, I get it. You're now in today's age, like keep in mind, DJ equipment, especially, again, I hate to be like, you know, back in my day when I went up the road, but it's one of those like, like when DJing, so to give everybody like a quick little snapshot of stuff, like back in the day when you had DJ equipment was ugly expensive. Like you're talking about your mixer, $2,300, turntables about $1,200 a piece. So, you know, you're anywhere between $4,000 to $5,000, and you haven't bought speakers yet. And you haven't bought records yet. So that's why you hardly saw certain DJs, or you saw a lot of pairing of DJs that would get together to pull, like I originally did when I first started with a buddy of mine named John, to get the ball rolling. Now these guys could buy a piece of MIDI equipment for anywhere between $250 to $500 online, do everything digitally, and then be like, I'm a DJ. So then when you have that big boom, all of a sudden, what's the next thing? Well, how can I stick apart? Let me stick this big ass rat head on me. Let me throw cake at people in the crowd. Let me do, and again, I don't yuck nobody's yum. Like that's their thing. It's just, I'm a true purist when it comes to like creating a vibe, setting a tone, taking people to a musical journey. I'm not going to sit there and that's cool. That's just for scratch competitions. You know what I mean? I like just creating that vibes. Like you guys see many ruin throughout, like every bar smoker and stuff like that I do, like just reading the crowd and seeing people. So for me, in today's landscape, some of the stupid shit I see is DJs conforming to what a crowd, like this whole new thing now where they're holding their fucking phone and they're telling you to play a song and they'll fucking play it. No, the last time I checked, I wasn't a jukebox. You're not sticking $5 in me to play your song.
Yeah, and you're
you
not
know, like I'm gonna play what I want to play.
The wedding venue guy, like, hey, will you play this song for us?
I have it literally. Like they're like,
oh god,
there's like a really big disconnect with DJs now. Like you said, you know how to read a crowd and do all those things, which is really important, really in any setting. Whereas these kids don't. They're already like socially awkward. So there's a disconnect. You know, they might be playing whatever they're good at and they want to hear, but the crowd's sitting there like, all right, nah.
Standing against the wall. It's like a high school dance, you know. And then that goes into another double-edged sword. I used to have these conversations with JD all the time, how music's changed now in today's landscape. And I'll come home and I'll tell her, I'm like, man, there's this dope ass song that's so cool that you could vibe to and rock with. They're like, no, the new shit's dumbed down. It's real short attention. It's real, you know, it's the content is so different. Now I get it. Like I'm not trying to go on a dance floor and dance to something lyrical, but back, I'd say I'm very fortunate and blessed. So when I started doing nightclubs in between 03, 04, all the way to now, that beginning from 03 04 to about 2012, 2014, I want to say. Hip hop was awesome. Dance music was awesome because it was all like grab your girl, dance with her, booty shaking, the whole shit. Now it's like a lot of the songs that's made, it's like dudes, literally guys rapping to each other on the dance floor.
Yeah.
Or a chick just drops and just shakes her ass to her friends and they're like, hey, 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 hey,
oh,
hey.
Gosh.
It's like,
no in between, right?
No in
like
between.
There
yeah.
or like bouncing your ass everywhere. It's like,
yeah. And the dude shit's weird. Like they're literally like, and high five, and it's like, man, I mean, go grab yourself a girl.
Yeah,
it's blind.
Well, it's like on TikTok, it's funny because there's a couple like somebody was like trying to do a Vanilla Ice dance and then like an MC Hammer, and this one chick is like, no, if you're gonna do the dance, you're gonna learn how to fucking do the dance correctly. Like there's real fucking steps, right? And she's like out of breath. She's like, I don't care. She's like showing the dance moves. And that's just it. Like, I remember growing up and like you had to learn fucking dance moves. Like, I don't how is shaking your ass dancing?
The courage, the fucking courage to go up to a girl and be like, man, you want to dance? And then be that comfortable to where if it's a grinding song where they're grinding up on you or whatever and close.
Yeah.
Like there was a whole fucking level to it. And now it's like,
and again, you could connect with the person you're dancing with,
right? Yeah, like there's it's a vibe. It's a whole vibe that's not there.
Vibe.
That's not there
we
anymore.
We have the best club and bar days, I feel like. Our
I do. I feel it.
The only move I ever learned was the icky shuffle. That's the only move I know is the icky shuffle. I
don't think we want to see that though.
No,
I just,
So
go in the refrigerator, grab a piece of meat, throw it on the floor, then do it.
That's it. So Angelica, what do you do for the daytime work?
So I help run our family business. It's like home interiors, window treatments. So I do sales and design for them.
Awesome.
Yes.
No, right. Yeah, because you have I read a bachelor's in design, don't you?
I do. Yeah, I have a BFA. I went to the Art Institute and got my degree there. I worked in corporate for like, I don't know, maybe like a decade designing. And then I joined the family business after we had our second. So.
All right. So what? So blinds and design. You know, I had friends of mine, Brooke and Brian. They hired when they moved into their house. They hired a designer to come in for the blinds and install everything. And everybody was on Facebook like, why don't you just go to Home Depot and do it yourself? You know. So as someone, so why should someone hire you or a design company versus just going to Home Depot? Obviously, that's the reason. You know, Home Depot, but.
Sure. You know, the small business, like any small business, like you care. You know, I don't care. We don't care if you're getting like the cheapest product from us or the most expensive. And Home Depot, like you know, God bless them, they need a job too, obviously. But you're hiring just any Joe Schmo off the street that doesn't have any experience really in anything. Right. You know, I did go to design school. I could spot colors. I could do anything you need me to do. You know, so there is definitely a huge difference. And from what I hear from most of my clients, it's always like, oh, you made this so easy. Thank you so much. Oh, you know, Home Depot came here, or this blind place or that blind place. And, you know, they were so awkward and it was weird to talk to them. So, you know, there's definitely a different level of personalization and care, I think. So.
What any weird blind stories, like anything like strange happen or somebody that wants something just super strange?
She carries a knife with her. You got a fucking shank.
Yeah.
I carry a knife with me. People are fucking weird these days. Okay, you just never know what the fuck is gonna happen. So I mean, it does get weird sometimes. Like I've been in the middle of like husband and wife fights because they like, you know, it's fucking awkward as hell. Like, what are you doing? Let me just step outside.
The lady that was in the apartment laying all weird.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. I went to a very odd apartment complex. It was very creepy. It looked like it belongs in like a horror movie. Oh, and the lady that I was helping, I don't know if she was sick or something. I even feel bad saying it, but she was very tall, skinny, bony. She literally looked like she was straight out of a horror movie. Oh. And I walked into her apartment, and then there was another lady. Like they didn't have like furniture in their living room. It was a bed, and there was another lady like in silk pajamas, drinking wine, like half-ass naked. I was like, I don't know what the fuck is going on here. Like, there's weird, like, did you know I was coming? Like, prepare, get dressed, do something, you know? It's very fucking, there's weird shit out there for sure. So yeah,
maybe make the living room bed.
Yeah, I don't know. I
think
think
your pajamas. Like, I don't know, what were you doing right before? You're like sexing it? I don't know. Put it away.
I think I'd call the police department like right before I knocked on the door. If you don't hear back from me in 30 minutes, you're gonna want to come to this address. You know,
for sure.
Weird.
People are very weird. I feel like they've gotten even weirder after the pandemic too, for sure. So yeah,
so crazy.
Yeah, so it really is crazy. So.
Yeah. So, and then you also have an amazing Instagram channel.
Yes.
Weightlifting. We're gonna watch a little video, one of your videos. In this one, you have a bunch of views, and they're all from me because because it was such an inspirational message. I kept replaying it just so I would memorize it and I wouldn't forget it. So here it is.
So I heard this quote the other day that really impacted me. It said, "You're suffering from self-doubt while others are intimidated by your full potential." And I love that quote because I think we are our own worst critic. And it makes me think about if your past self could see where you're at today, think of how impressed they would be.
It gave me chills thinking about that because I do have that self-doubt about this, about, you know, am I good enough? You know, and then, you know, luckily I do get that feedback from people in the community. We love what you're doing a good job. But like I said, it was such a great message. Plus I watched it over and over again because I'm going through rehab on my knee, and the way you bent your knee, and I'm like, oh my God. I'm like, one day I wasn't able to do that before, but I'm hoping maybe afterwards I'll be able to do that. So where did your fitness journey start? And then why did you want to just put it out there for the world to see? I mean, women are, you know, they're judged. It's brutal out there in that landscape.
It's wild out there for sure. You know, it started a little bit after our last one, and I just felt like garbage about myself, and just, you know, your body changes after having kids, you feel like shit, and I was like, I need to get back on track. So I originally started the page really to keep myself accountable. So I would post my progress and stuff like that. And then over the years, it really became like a lifestyle. So it's definitely a big part of me. It definitely has changed me significantly over the past probably like 5 years.
Nice. And I've never seen Eli in a single video.
No.
During the pandemic, I was the $5 gym.
Yeah. He's like, who do you think's filming all that? That's me. I was in there working out too. You know, so
hopefully soon. You know, hopefully soon he'll get into it. We'll see.
Yeah.
But I love it. I think you do give inspiration to not just women, but men as well. You know, it's, you know, because you have your ups, your downs, gain weight, lose weight. You know, none of us are perfect. So you
right. But I think it also just proves too that, you know, obviously it doesn't matter. Everyone has different body types, you know, so what might work for you doesn't work for someone else, but just keep trying different things. You know, because you've even said that, like, you've tried stuff and you're like, that wasn't working. I'm trying this now, and this is what's working for me.
Definitely. Yeah. And it just goes to show, because you see so many, whether it's fitness or, you know, any other thing on Instagram, like there's this fitness look or that, you know, you just see all the time and you're like, that's not me. And there's like every other body out there that still does fitness, and just because you're not a certain size or a certain look doesn't mean that you're not fit or healthy.
Right.
Exactly. Yeah, you know, one of our favorites, Sin Coburn, Josh and Sin of Dissident Cigars, you know, she shows it all. She's like, yeah, you know, like I said, it's, you know, in these images, you know, you can put a filter on, but she'll show, she goes, listen, I have cellulite. I have a belly. I've had kids.
Yeah, she'll do like a side by side. She'll show like the filtered version and then the real version. And she's like, see? And like, she's stunning, like just stunning. But she went through like a huge weight battle and lost a ton of weight and stuff, but she's like, this is the reality of it too. Like, this is what happens to when you lose a lot of weight, you know? So
and the filters are crazy, you know. Really, social media has put on such a facade, an easy facade, and you know, that's why I think kids like are teenagers and stuff, like they see that and they don't know reality, from fake.
They don't, because we
Yeah.
don't see it. There's so many, beautiful women, in the cigar community, that we know, and they are stunning. And then they'll post these pictures, and they go to the extreme on the filters where it completely blurs everything. And then I'm like, you're so beautiful.
Yeah.
Why? Did you take away your nose?
But there's nothing,
just everything.
There's nothing wrong with anyone wanting to look and put their best features forward, right?
Yes.
But when you don't have pores at all, like that does tend to start to look a little weird.
I mean, if you're not showing the people like your real self, I feel like you're connecting that to something that isn't fully real.
Because Lord knows I've been to trade shows and I've seen certain individuals where I'm just like, oh, that's dumb. What the fuck?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, but again, it goes to like, again, and not because I'm her husband, but I love what she posts. I love her messages. I love how she's always active with it. But she also doesn't post it as what we call a thirst trap. Like, she's literally either motivational quotes and, I mean, in her title, Fit Mess Mom. She's not trying to lure people in, like, look at me working out, shaking titty, shaking ass. Like, no, it's presented different in a wholesome way to help motivate you, to help let you know where her journey's going on. Like, hey, again, just like everything else that I'm involved in and we're involved in together, like, hey, we're just like y'all. Like, we same struggle. No one's sitting here, like, online like this and then behind the scenes like this. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, that's just not the thing. And that's one thing I've respected, because I have buddies and stuff ask her, they'll say like, oh, she posts this and she's got this, she's working. I'm like, yeah, that's awesome. But she's not sitting there like where her chest glistening going, so today we were just hitting the weights and we were doing this, or hey, so we were doing but I've seen those pages come up where I'm just like,
when it's like remotely like that, I'm like, oh, I'm not gonna post that. Too much.
Yeah.
So and then you're not afraid to post your family, because there are so many, and I hate always going back to women, but it seems like women do it more than men. It's the thirst traps, and then they want you to feel like they're available. So some of these women, it's like, I know you're married, you got 3 kids, that they'll never mention a husband, they'll never mention the kids, that they don't show the pictures, and it's just.
But that could be another personal choice. I mean, I do try to give some people like a little bit of the benefit of the doubt of why they might do some of the stuff they do, but I see it from both sides kind of, but I think it does get to the point where it's not authentic. So, and all your comments are literally like, "Oh, you're so beautiful. You're so like whatever." Like, what does that have anything to do with what you're like posting? That's what I don't understand. Much. Right. So, like, if that's what you're looking for, is that, then whatever, do you? But I mean, you posted a picture of like say your fitness thing or whatever, or like a cigar, but that's nothing anyone's talking about. How does that make sense?
Now, Eli, you've probably seen it, like some of these influencers, these girls at these trade shows, these events, and then you're like, oh, hey, that's so and so. And you hold up a camera, and I'm like, well, that doesn't look like her at all. It's like that.
Yeah.
With the filters, you're like,
no, wow. Mind you too, though. Like, if I'm home and I'm taking a picture, I'm in my house in AC. My hair's not frizzy. My makeup's not glistening. I could take a damn good photo. Yeah. But when I go to these events, I look like a hot, sweaty fucking mess a lot of times. So, I don't know. I'm not like, so I get it. Like, when you're in your controlled environment, you can look fucking damn good. You go out in the elements, you have no control.
Yeah, you can't walk around with a ring light, you can clearly tell, when I see some pictures on Instagram, you can see the ring light in their eyes and their feet.
So, Kevin, there's a handful that female and male cigar influencers that I talk to that are legit, brothers and sisters of the leaf, truly about the cause of it, truly into it. I know they got their separate entity that they're trying to run, meaning like they're trying to give this image out so companies can approach them and do stuff. That I get. Then there's like a whole fucking garbage bag full of people that I look and I'm just like, wow. You know what I mean? Like, you have an ulterior motive. Now, I don't want to, again, being from a rough neighborhood, I'm taught from, I hate to say the school of hard knocks, but real can recognize real, and you can smell out a fake from a mile away when you have a certain background growing up. So a lot of that I smell quick, and I'll call shit out to people, and they'll be like, no, da da da. And then it may not be today, it may not be tomorrow, but like in a month or two, a year from now, they'll come to me like, bro, you was right. I ran into so and so at the fucking new lounge in fucking Vegas, and they were da da da. I'm just like, I knew it. I had a feeling. But there are some people that I do rock with that are, like I said, they're true with it, and they have their little image they uphold, like if they were a media personality, you know what I mean? Like the person on Good Morning America, all done up, frizzed up, but then you go see them, downtown in Manhattan, New York, they look different. That I get. But then there's the ones that make it look like they're like that 24/7. They're not, or they're just capitalizing.
Life is perfect. The house is perfect. Everything is perfect.
Capitalizing on the boom again, because we're in a current cigar boom during the pandemic, where it's just like, again, it's just there's only a few household names that I rock with.
Yeah, it's funny because we're doing the Trash Panda stuff, and we're doing some some merch and stuff. So when we do the shirts, like Kevin will put it on our bed, and I'm like, Kevin, we have a dog that her hair is white. It's everywhere. Literally, we should just write a note that says, sorry, everything comes with fucking dog hair.
All of our pictures have dog hair on our
I can't even begin to tell you. I walk around with the sticky thing. I'm like,
for sure.
all the time. Yeah. Because it's everywhere. And then like, don't let her on the front. Okay. She goes on everything. I'm not going to stop her. Whatever. She's on the bed. She's on the couch, like whatever. But yeah, there's dog hair everywhere. Yeah. Everywhere. So like, there's no hiding that. Like it just shows up in the pictures. Yeah, it's there.
They need a dog hair filter, but
it's like here, but it's like every product we send, even in like this when I do like the orders for some of the bleed tools and stuff, like even just sitting at the table, I'll be like putting stuff in the little containers, and I'll be like, how's there dog hair in here? It's just everywhere. Everywhere. And that is real. Like there is nothing glamorous at all about
that lifestyle. They always see the glamour on the Instagram, and then they never see behind the scenes.
No. Until they get their order.
but getting back, like I said, the trade show. I mean, obviously and that's why I love rocking with DE, because them girls throw themselves at Drew Estate, trying to get them deals. And Drew Estate, they don't fuck with any of those girls. They like, no, get out of it. I mean, we're about real. We're about, and that's what I love about DE. But I've seen it at all those events. Those girls just sliding up to everybody, and they're like, get out of here with that shit.
Yeah, I think that's in any kind of like atmosphere, from cars to music to anything.
Sure.
They're
anything involved with men. I remember. I remember when Clubhouse. I mean, it's still a thing, when it really was a thing. And hopping into conversations about situations like this. And I spoke so passionate about it because, I was once called an influencer, and I was like, don't fucking call me that. And the individual was like, what do you mean? Hold on, I got to just quick. Sanjay Patel.
Sanj, what's going on?
That's my brother right now.
Yeah.
That's family right there. But, I go into these situations to where when I was told that, I was like, I'm not. And I'm like, I like sharing experiences. Like, I thoroughly get excited. It could be a fucking t-shirt. It could be a hat. It could be a fucking cigar. I want to share something with people, and I always share experiences with them. I'm an experience share. I don't sit out here and tell you like, hey, do this, do that, because they're paying me to do this, or do this because I want to influence so that I can get. No, that's just never been my MO. You know what I mean? That's why like things always happen for me organically. Like when we talked years back with Drew Estate, shit just happened organically for being real. And I'm like, I'm not here to influence anybody. I'm just here to share my experience, whether you like it or you don't like it. There might be shit you like that I don't, and shit that I like you don't, and shit that we both like. And so it's real interesting.
I think it's a title that's just thrown around so easily now that it's not like, oh yeah, I'm an influencer. It's not like a compliment.
And I feel like, for me, like when I think of an influencer, like Kevin sometimes will like say that, like I think it's just because it's a convenient word, but like I'm gonna be like, I don't consider myself that, because I just don't. But when I see stuff on TikTok and like people making a living off of being to me, that's an influencer. I am not getting any money for the shit I'm doing. I'm paying money for a product.
As far as I'm concerned,
saying, hey, I like this.
As far as I'm concerned, my personal perspective, together you guys are Cigar Media. Yeah. When Kevin's buying stuff, he's doing Cigar Media. You're doing your experience sharing. And I don't knock influence, because there is people who do get influenced when they see things. If you see something a bunch of times, you people with that command a certain amount of followers or might command a certain mass. I've seen it even when I was doing live shows. Like, it was so eerie to me that I could be on stage and I could point at somebody and they light up, and then they're right after the show, can you sign? Shane, you saw my gym shoe. Can you sign this? Oh, you like that? And then you're getting tagged in pictures and they're wearing the same hat that you had, the same shirt you had, because they're influenced by you. So that I totally get 100%. But I think there's just always different levels to it, just like anything.
Like tonight, I'm wearing this Cigar Damas sweatshirt that I got from the festival. From the last year, she started making shirts, and I was her first customer and bought a shirt from her. And she was like, "Oh my God, I didn't think anybody would buy these." This year, I saw her booth was nonstop. People were just taking their shirts off and putting her shirts on. So I always try to support her. But she, like, beautiful, beautiful people. So I was like, I'm wearing her shirt tonight.
And if you'd like this shirt, there's a link in the bio. Use Jesse to get 10% off. No, there's not. No, there's not. Yeah.
No link. But I love her stuff. Like, she makes some really cool products. I don't want it for free. I want to support her business.
Yeah,
you
for
know?
Sure.
And so, like, you know, I feel like that's important too, you know, is to also support people locally too, you know, or if
without a doubt, like I remember my relationship with Kev, like when the first couple stuff that I bought from you guys and he sent in, and then obviously I've been very gracious to try his 2.0 stuff when he started making different versions. He sent my way to try out and I posted about it.
Yeah.
But then again, like I made sure, just like you guys did with us when we had our Cigar Club clothing company, there was a couple items that you guys supported and bought, and then we ended up, you know, returning the favor, and tossing you guys some free stuff when we could to take care of you guys. Like that's just a one-in-one.
And the shirt that I got for me, Kevin wore, which was really fucking awkward.
Yeah, you know, and say we got Sanj in the chat panel tonight. You know, like I mean, we went up to Sanj's lounge. You know, he sat down with us. We talked for hours. Fantastic guy. We bought. I probably spent $400, $350 there. I didn't ask for anything free. I didn't ask for like, hey, can you give me a couple of free cigars? I'll promote it. You know, he's a cool guy, made a good product. And we just like, I'll
tell you right now, to me, I've been very fortunate to hit a couple of shops that are on my bucket list. There's some great shop owners, great farmers, not taking away from them or anything of that nature. But Sanj in particular has always stuck out to me. Even because I cultivated a relationship with him online. And then when I got to finally meet him in person, granted, he almost threatened to stab me. He said, "I'm going to stab your Puerto Rican ass," is what his exact words were. But he's in New Jersey, Sanjay.
I was going to say, welcome to Jersey.
He's the most loving and caring man that he would give his shirt off his back, and I would do the same thing back for him. And it's always great to see him. And I was finally able this year to stop out to his shop. And like I said, Sanj is just a very special individual. There's very rare people, especially when they come from a stature of his history and in that many years in the business, where they're that giving and that caring. And that man, I got a lot of love for, man.
We flew into Philadelphia and we drove. It was like a 2.5 hour drive to get there, and we could have stayed and slept there and woke up in the morning and still like hung out. I didn't want to leave. It was a fucking great experience.
There's some personalities in the cigar world when you meet them in person, and it's like, oh, this isn't the guy that I see on the videos. You know, you watch some of Sanj's videos and then you're like, there's no fucking way this is the same guy in person. Sanj, I mean, he is just out. He's well spoken, knows everything, speaks his mind about everything. That. And then when you get there, he fucking speaks his mind about everything. That's the brilliance. That's refreshing. It is of the things.
In my opinion,
I can't wait till his movie comes out. He needs to write a couple. He needs to write a couple books. I mean, he needs to get this into the online so other people can share this knowledge. You know
Eli, when did you go? When
I was there,
the PA or the Connecticut.
When I was there for the when I was in town for the take that back. No, we were actually doing. It was a special Ligas in Brooklyn event. So
that's right.
Yeah.
That's right.
And then the Saturday after party setup was supposed to be at a shop and stuff like that. But I was, like I said, we were staying in Jersey, so I made a point. Obviously, we were already doing something there with them, but I made a point to go out there and obviously, like I was supposed to DJ. There's some behind the scenes drama that went on, but anyways, I was like, I don't give a fuck. Like I'm here to just hang out with Sanj. I just want to hang out and talk with him and his knowledge. And we talked everything from traditional Cuban cigars to the new wave traditional Nicaraguan cigars to, I mean, we ate food together. I mean, it was, I had a hell of a time that I remember texting her and I was telling her about it. And I told her, I go, man, I wish I fucking lived out here just so I can hang out in shop. Like there's shops here locally that I go to that are cool, but there's just a different vibe in there. And then that's like one of the shops where members are also the owners. Like he keeps it open 24 hours. I seen guys emptying ashtrays, throwing trash out. It wasn't on some like I pay my membership, so there's supply that comes with my membership. Yeah, they knew what they have and they take care of it. We're all looking out for each other. It was just a complete different vibe. Maddie Rock and all everybody.
Awesome. I love that he had like he also takes all the like newer, younger smokers and takes them under his wing and like teaches them and stuff like that. That's what you aspire like to have when you first start smoking cigars, is someone not to make you feel like, oh my God, you're doing something wrong and you shouldn't be smoking. You're not like, you know what I mean? Like he just
judging. People, when I first started going to shops, I would avoid them because I felt like you would get judged. There was this old guard and it wasn't welcoming. And you look at a shop like that, like there was dudes that literally sat next to me, introduced themselves to me, like, what up, bro? My name's that. And we just start talking. You know what I mean? It wasn't like, I'm going to sit in this corner on this leather chair. You're gonna sit over there in this leather chair. Maybe we might make eye contact. Maybe we might say, "Oh, because the score of the game or something." But that's where it draws the line. No, completely different.
Yeah, when we were sitting there, people were just like, "Oh, I was just in the neighborhood and just wanted to stop in and say hi."
Yeah,
like they just make it a point to just stop in and say hi.
I can't tell how many times I've been in a lounge and someone, everybody will be a group of friends. A lot of times people don't know what other people do because nobody cares what you do for a living. It's all about the cigars. Right. And someone will be like, oh, I'm going through this. I need to find a lawyer or something. The other guy's like, oh, hey, I'm a lawyer. Here's my card. Come see a consultation. We'll get you taken care of. Another guy will be like, hey, I got a leak. I got to go early. I got a leak. I need to find a plumber. And be like, hey, I'm a plumber. Why don't we leave? I'll come over your house right now. I've seen all that happen. And it's just like, all of this happens in a cigar lounge. You make the best of friends, and it's just it's an amazing experience. Really Angelica, I want to hear about the first time you met Jonathan Drew. Everybody always has a different JD meeting story. When's the first time you met JD?
When was the first time I met him? I think I saw him at a couple of cigar like in stores.
Yeah,
I think I met you.
UF4.
Where?
UF4. That's when he told you, listen, I'm going to take your husband with me to Nicaragua.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
He's always just been like, every time I've seen him, I've only seen him maybe like a handful of times. He's just very goofy. Yeah. He's so fucking goofy. Like, he's like all over the place.
He is.
I can never like get his attention for more than like a couple minutes, and then he's kind of like out.
But I mean, he's the guy, just as genuine as they come,
Yeah. And then I heard a lot about him obviously through Eli and how, he really took to liking Eli because of his, how genuine he is and everything. And so it was just nice to see someone of, I don't know, that big in the company to see what I see in him.
Yeah. All his comments were non-music related. Like, you're a genuine person. You're down to earth. I feel your soul. Like, you got an honest heart. You such all these like crazy stuff that he still tells me to this day. When he hugs me and he whispers in my ear, people always ask me. I won't share a lot of it because a lot of it's personal, but it's all stuff based on the music comes second. It's just the personality comes first, and the being the goodness of my heart. And that's what I remember. It was Casa de Monte Cristo, UF4. And I was done, and that's what he told me. He's like, man, so finally awesome to see you. And then he made a comment. He's like, I'm taking him to Nicaragua. Don't worry, he's not going to get in trouble. He's going to be with me. And that was in October, and like 2 months later in that January, I was on a plane down to Nicaragua.
Nice. It really was it was so crazy how everything happened. It was really wild.
Now, how often do you? I mean, he comes to Florida. He goes to all these barn smokers, all these events. He goes to New York. And you're watching this online. You're back home. You got the kids. It's gonna be snowing. You're like, this motherfucker. He is out there. Eli, how many times you come home and she's like, this is all yours now. I'm out. I'm going somewhere. I'm going to Target. I'm like,
here they are. Take them.
Honestly, like, it's never been like that. Like, legit, even though we might joke about it, it's always been like, I know when she's like, hey, I'm gonna go out for brunch with my girls, or she recently went on a solo trip to Arizona, and I'm like, go do it. Like, like, it sucks because do I have a little fun? Without a fucking doubt. Like, hanging out, laughing with you guys without a doubt. But I'm working. You guys see, like, I'm fucking
running. Yeah. I was going to say, you are shit, like, definitely working.
Yeah, people want to hang out and smoke, and I feel so bad because then I'm, like, half fucking tired, and I go to my room to lay down, and she knows, like, all the behind-the-scenes stuff. So I don't fully get to like have vacation.
Right.
But she knows that when I come back, like that's why I always make a point to try to leave the later flight on a Thursday and come back the earliest on a Sunday so I can be with my family. But when she needs her me time, I've never ever was like, no, wait, I just got back. Or no, what do you mean you're gonna go with your friend? I'm like, no, go do it.
Yeah,
Like
definitely.
do your thing.
I mean, I know how he is with events, whether it's things like this, at-home events, when he used to do weddings and things like. When he's all in, and he's like fucking stressing the fuck out hours before, stressing the fuck out the day before. So like, I know he isn't just there like wilding out, like getting wasted and whatever. He's having fun, and I want him to have fun. And
Yeah.
I'm genuinely like over here, just like with the biggest fucking heart, like so proud. I'm so fucking proud.
You let my secret out about me stressing.
Unless you're at the airport, but we're gonna get to that in a second. You mentioned earlier you've got you guys do a show together. You just came back. It's called the Bonafide BS. It's a podcast. You can find them on all the podcasting platforms. Links are in the video description below. If you're listening to this on the podcast description, you also have a YouTube channel as well. And let's see a little bit of what this show is all about.
I get checked and I go fucking through and I'm chilling.
So fucking bougie. Let me tell you, this pre-check shit or whatever, global, whatever he signed up for, literally just happened when he started like traveling for work. Okay, like this is fairly new. So, and usually he travels by himself for work, and I travel alone, and it's really good because I get to relax with my relaxed self at the airport. But like, so this isn't like, oh, he's been like a flying American and United his whole life. Like, please, like, listen, we are avid Spirit and Frontier goers. Okay, so please. Yeah, you only fly that when you're on someone else's dime.
No, the thing is like I said, you know, I know in my mind, okay, if my flight's gonna leave at 7:00 in the morning, shit, I could get there at fucking 6:30, and I'll still be good with pre-check, global entry, what I have. If I don't have all that, I'm like, fuck, you don't know, because you have to take into account the lines that start to build up, everything. It's the whole process. You just kind of get a little bit flustered.
I'm sorry, I fell asleep for a second.
And I thought it was funny how the guy said, how low key, how is it funny when the guy goes, hey mom, you're holding them back. You gotta get your street checked.
I know, you love that.
And I think she should. And I've been saying, and just how she was before the pandemic came in, she was, but she didn't. But it's a great investment. For those of our listeners who travel a lot or were traveling a lot, you probably could speak, know exactly to what I'm speaking to, where I'm coming from. But that's the part, because once I have that, I know I can get in, grab a drink, whatever, sit down, zen, and I love people watching. I love seeing the chaos. I love seeing everything.
It's just getting through that. You can't do it because
you do that with a family. It's a little bit, you're like strapped for schedule. You want to make sure you don't miss a flight.
You're really not strapped for schedule. You are rushing because you feel like there's people behind you, but they don't care. They don't care about you.
Oh, I love that. That was hilarious. I love that Kevin zoomed
worst to travel with. Like, I just want to just kill me now.
Likewise, she's oblivious to everything going around her. Things happening. Like, oh my god, time to get on planes. Where's phones? My bags.
Like, someone throw like 4 Xanax in his mouth because that's the only way that whole fucking calmed down. It's like a mess.
I'm TSA pre-check. She isn't. Yeah. So I'm
also when we first started dating, Kevin really didn't fly. He always wanted to drive everywhere, and I was like, no, not because he's not a flyer. Like he does not like flying. Like it makes him feel like he gets like I don't know. It's not motion sickness, but he just doesn't like to eat because he always feels like he's nauseous if he eats on the plane. But I like to fly. But I'm gonna fly cheap. So like he would be like, you book the flights, and then I wouldn't. He books the flights because he wants to be comfortable. I'm like, then you pay for it.
When I first met him, he was not a traveler. So him and his bougie ass now, I'm like, just fucking take it down a notch.
Please refer to me as Senior Admirals Club. Please.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah, you be complaining until we're in that Sky Lounge and you're sipping on a drink before the flight. You're not complaining then. And
you're able to charge your phone and not have to fight some bum that you're trying to fight for a port.
I don't know. I like to get where I'm going and just get there. Like I don't care about any of the other shit. And Kevin's all like, oh, we can do this, we could do that. And I'm like, I don't want to do that. I want to get on the plane and get off. Like I don't want to have a layover. I don't care.
You're gonna get me there safe.
It comes.
I don't fucking care who the fuck it is.
I'll be dead ass honest. A lot of it comes obviously. My travel did it, but besides we Gallimore need to share some photos. Shout out to the big boy. RG, I see you, bro. We joke about it, but like, you know, like obviously we always did our yearly family trips, which is it's a nut house in itself. But when you start traveling so much and so often, you know what I mean? Like there's certain amenities that you end up getting accustomed to, or that you kind of do adapt to, and then you enjoy, whether it's an Admirals Club, whether it's, you know, all your other little stuff, because you're there and you're fucking spending your time there. You know what I mean? Like you're like she fucking, you know, she goes, look at Pete does. She'll be like, "Why are you so eager for an early group boarding?" I said,
"Oh my god, that's
I hate it, and I hate people when they start fighting for overhead bin space.
You just want to sit on the plane for 14
No, they're like, hold on, this is my stuff. Well, this is your bag. Do you really got to put this up here? How about you put it below? No, let me get on the fucking plane. Let me put my shit up, and I'll fucking sit by the window, and I'm kicking it for the rest. I don't care if I'm there. Same thing with getting off. Like, I'm not in a rush to get off.
We'll talk about this for hours.
I'm just in a rush to get on so I can load my shit, claim my spot, put my flag, and then I'm like, I'm set. I don't want to be the guy that's like,
what coffee do you get? What coffee do you get when you go to Singapore? You tell us.
What do you mean what coffee is it?
You always have for your little snacks. You're like,
yeah. I get my little Starbucks, get my shit. Like, I got a system. But the guy, the poor sap, that's going like, where can I put this? There's no room. And then the flight attendant, and now they're trying to close the fucking door. And I hate, and then everybody's staring at you. Like, I hate that.
Like you're on Spirit and you're on American.
Like, I grab my shit, take my shit, throw my shit on top, stretch the fuck out, and I'm good. Now getting off the plane, I'm not that. All right, I gotta get up. No, I'm like, all right, cool. I'm here at my destination. I'll get off when I fucking get off.
Oh my god.
So the show, I've seen a few episodes. I'm glad you guys are back. This is pretty much the show. It's just this. What made you guys want to start a podcast? Start a show?
So we always like doing stuff joint. You know what I mean? Like she's got her workouts. I got my cigars. You know what I mean? Like
there's a lot of things that we like don't have in common.
Yeah.
So to have something that we could come together and just chat or laugh or cry or whatever the case might be is really nice. And it started during the pandemic.
Yeah, because I have a background in radio. I went to school for radio, worked at a radio station for a couple years, media. I had a big background on that. Obviously, that's a real competitive industry, especially when you get to the major markets. It's super competitive if you're not willing to move out. Unfortunately, I wasn't the means to move out. You know what I mean? Like, at my family, I wasn't going to try to go to Podunk, Idaho, to be the number one on the number one hip hop station, which I got job offers from other countries. I mean, from other states, but it were also, markets where it just wasn't Chicago. So, when I did a little podcasting back in the day when podcasting still was on the come up. I used to do a baseball podcast with some buddies, but I had that media background, and I've always told with it. And I actually did, first time saying here, I have a couple episodes in my vault somewhere, which I was kicking off a cigar podcast, and I was going to drop 5 episodes at once, and it was just generally talking about cigars, nothing too crazy to get. It was to get into.
Remember that.
Yeah, that's when I had Easy and whatever that I was going to interview. Yeah, it's just. So I did a couple of those, never posted them, had started the account. And then I said, you know what? I think it's something that I always laugh with her, because I get so much love from people when I share, whether it's Instagram stories or videos, and like, oh my God, you and your family are so funny. Oh my God. And I tell people, like, it's 100% on the spot. Like, we don't sit there before I grab the phone. Okay, you're going to say this, and then I'm going to say that. And then I'm going to hit record.
No, usually he gets mad at me when I pull out my phone. He's like, oh God, here we go.
Yeah, because I'm all about in the moment person. But when we start recording, that's why sometimes some of the recordings are so abrupt that on the spot, like, hey, and you get caught off guard. And I said, you know what? Let's transform this during the pandemic into the podcast. I'm like, we should, go ahead and give a run at it. And she's honestly was a proponent for doing it on YouTube too, because I was just like, I just want to do the podcast and that. But she's like, no, let's do the YouTube thing too. And surprisingly, when we kind of went a little bit behind the scenes for a few months with some drama we had going on, the amount of people that were coming up to me when I was back on Bar Smokers, the messages we were getting from people, they were saying, what's up with the podcast? You guys done? I'm like, no, we're not done. They're like, well, I haven't seen an episode. And it was funny because even though we dropped the new one, we didn't tell nobody. And when it got dropped, the amount of messages were like, oh my God, I had to look for a second because I thought it was like an old one, but I was like, wait a second, the date looks like it's new. But yeah, it's just something that we both, enjoy. And we found out as while we were doing them, people that reached out, they were like, oh my God, I'm glad you're talking about this subject. Oh my God, I'm glad you're mentioning these things. These are stuff that I'm going through, stuff that I'm feeling. And I didn't realize anybody else was, or I don't have the comfortability to share it. And there is stuff that obviously we keep close to our hearts. That's personal stuff here at home. But for the most part, we put it out there because sometimes it's good to talk to other folks and other individuals and get their perspective on things, as well as sharing your experience with other people and knowing like, hey, you're not alone. You know, we're going through it too, and you can laugh at it.
But you do like, you put a little bit of a comedian spin on it, because that's how I deal with stuff. Is even if it's serious, like if I don't laugh about it, it would tear me apart. Like I have to have some comic relief, you know? And so,
Definitely.
you know,
like what was it that you were calling? She was, was it fuck bag or something, like to one of our kids? And people were like, oh my God. We're like, yeah, like.
That's how I talk.
I do. Yeah, I do.
And it was like, oh my God, you refer to your kid like that? Like, yeah, he's a fucking, like,
absolutely.
You know, it's that 70s show, like, come here, dumbass.
Yeah.
You know, like, I say that, like, hey, idiot, what are you doing? You know what I mean? Like, so, it's so people laugh at it.
I think that's funny because, like, when you first met me, I think you were a little shocked on kind of like how that's how I am, like, towards my kids. And Grant, people are like, well, weren't you worried like that they were gonna have like, because I curse a lot. I grew up in a family that curses. I curse.
None of my family curse. It's
funny. It's terrible. But like, I don't even. I mean, I'm sure Graham probably cursed with some of his friends, but like literally, he didn't curse until he was like, you know, older. Like now, our 17-year-old occasionally will hear in her room when she's like playing a game or something, be like, you piece of shit.
Yeah.
You know, but like she doesn't come out, she's not talking to us and being like, oh, I had a shitty day. Like never heard. And I have
really
horrible mouth.
Our teenager definitely swears a lot.
Yeah.
Which if she did, I wouldn't care.
Yeah, I'm like, there's a difference between swearing and swearing at someone. Like I've never gone out to be like, fuck you, you know, like
definitely.
What the fuck are you doing or whatever? Like there's different ways. I feel like, at least in my head, that's what makes sense.
Right, but parenting styles, whatever works for your house, awesome. You know, but like don't tell me what to do.
So yeah.
No, you should try this. Don't you talk nicer? I'm like, no, I'm not gonna fucking talk nice. No, I fucking talk and it's not gonna change.
So everybody, definitely go on, you know, podcast and YouTube, subscribe. You will learn a lot. I've learned a lot. I learned a lot. I know it's this and not this. And,
not DJing.
You guys just need to wear. That's it. Just need to wear like a microphone and body cams at all times.
Yeah.
I always joke, like, I'm like, man, sometimes I wish, like, she's a big TLC network fan. I wish we should have TLC follow us around with some of the shit that we say and do. It'd be fucking hilarious, but. Yeah, it's always fucking some crazy
Nothing's
shit.
Like off the, you know, like I'm just willing to talk about anything. I don't know if he is. Sometimes it's a little past his comfort level, you know. Or like
there's certain stuff that you want to keep, and home.
Yeah.
It's just like so you have a little, but everything else, like we always fucking say it and put it out there and call it a day. Tom Campbell, I see you. What's up, brother?
So
that's funny. Yeah, well, Kevin has no problem putting anything out there. I'm the one who's like, what? Don't do that.
Yeah. Don't,
like, I am more private, definitely, than Kevin. Kevin just.
Oh yeah, I was
pushes the limits.
I was doing a video out in the garage a couple weeks ago, and Jessica opens up the door and then pokes her head out and comes back, and I'm like,
no, I didn't have a bra.
Oh, that's what I said. I go, oh, she'd come out, but she probably doesn't have a bra on.
But he said that out like to everyone. I was like, that's cool. That's awesome. Thank you for telling anyone that. Like that. Don't do that. I hate that so much.
Yeah.
But
I wouldn't mind that. He'll be like, I think I can see your nipples, and I'm like, is it a secret that I have nipples, or like? What,
yeah, that's true. I get that's true. I don't know.
I cover up. I'm like, okay.
I mean, but yeah, Kevin will put anything out there.
Everything out there.
I mean, people have seen Kevin put anything.
Yeah,
out there,
yeah. That.
And I get to see that online with everyone else because he does it when I'm not here.
Oh yeah.
His strong game is strong.
Yes. Apparently.
That's it. So all right, we're gonna move on to our lightning round, like not so newlywed question couples. Jessica's got I don't know what any of these questions are. We picked these out a while ago.
Oh, okay.
So we're just I think this was months ago, so I don't know what's on this. So We'll pick one out. We'll ask everybody in the audience or
everybody in the
audience. That's a game show. Game show. So,
okay.
All right. So the first one for everybody: if money were no object, where would you live? So we'll go Eli first. If money were no object, where would you live?
Ooh, this is a good one, man. If money was no object, where would I live?
If you don't say the same thing as me, it's gonna be real awkward.
I would say Colorado.
Nice.
Angelica?
I was gonna. That would be my second choice. I would say on a farm in Arizona with a whole lot of fucking land and a lot of farm animals.
Nice.
Eli, could you dig at Arizona? Big farms, animals?
Oh, Arizona's my second choice and Florida's my third.
All right. Jessica.
No, you have to answer first because I know we're not on the same page.
No, we're
totally not.
We're definitely not on the same page. I'm sure she's gonna say the mountain.
You don't get to pick from me.
I'm sure she's gonna say the mountains. I'm gonna say money no object, South Beach. You know, so I'd be in a.
You're still staying in Florida?
Lame. I'm moving farther south where it's more hot. Yeah, it's it.
Yep. I could dig with South Beach. That's my number 3.
Yeah.
No,
Condo on South Beach.
I don't care where, as long as it's a mountain.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah.
I love Colorado. I love North Carolina in the mountains. I mean, I don't care. I'll just go wherever there's an actual mountain.
Money no object. I'm gonna build a club. It's going to be called Mountains. So down on South Beach. So you can on South Beach.
I know what that will entail.
No, for a while there, every September for around Kevin's birthday, we were always going to the Carolinas. I miss it. I miss living in North Carolina, and so we always joke saying, "Oh, okay, we'll have 2 houses. Like we'll have one in North Carolina and one in Florida. So you can have your beach one, and I'll just have my mountain home. We'll occasionally get together.
Yeah.
We'll meet somewhere. I'll fly to you, and you can fly to me.
Yeah.
That's it. Yeah. So next question.
I don't know what that.
All right. Oh, another long one.
Ooh.
Okay. Oh. If so you're going to answer for your spouse. If they had to take one thing to a deserted island, what would they take? Angelica, what would Eli take to a deserted island?
His cigars.
Is that what you take?
Yeah, at one point it used to be music, but cigars definitely.
You wouldn't survive.
Yeah,
you wouldn't survive without his cigars.
I agree. Eli, what would Angelica take?
One thing she would take with her would be definitely some dog of some sort, a pet.
That's true, for sure.
A dog. So I'll answer for Jessica. What would she take? Honestly, I don't know what you would take to a deserted island. Probably your phone.
No. I don't give a shit about my phone.
You're always on your phone.
Always on my phone. But yet you complain that I never answer my phone.
Well, you don't because you're always watching these.
No,
she's into these.
I do binge watch a lot.
These fucking crime dramas. Just so everybody know. She knows it wasn't an accident. I did not commit suicide. I did not slip on the knife. She knows how. Knows how to make this shit.
No, I've been watching the ones where people are convicted and they're not guilty. Like those are the ones that I like, where they go in and they prove that these people who had gotten convicted and get them out of jail, they were wrongly accused. And
so she's trying to figure out how to fuck up my alibi is what she's trying to do right there.
That's the kick I'm on right now.
Yeah, that's it. So
Diet Bacardi.
Bacardi and Diet. That's it. Bacardi. Gotta be 2
I already
things.
knew that. That was easy.
I think I could forego the cigars if I had just enough Bacardi and Diet Coke.
Yeah.
Really?
That's all I need. I'm assuming their limes are growing there.
But honestly, I was sitting here thinking, what could I bring if I was stuck on a deserted island? I would say my kids. Honestly, I love them. I would want them with me. That would,
oh yeah, you do.
I just take all my kids with me, not Kevin.
Yeah, there's being selfish. We're stranded from a boat accident on a deserted island. She wants to bring more people to be miserable with us.
Yes.
We didn't even think about our kids.
are you checking? Like, I'll bring you with me.
That's it.
Well,
She's like, I just bring the dog. I don't want nobody else.
I think mostly probably too, just because I haven't gotten to see my oldest in it will be a year come Christmas here. And I was supposed to meet him in Jacksonville, Florida for like 2 days, and that got canceled, and I won't get to see him before, this year ends. And I'm like missing him like person to person. Like talking on the phone is fine, but like he and I like basically raised each other. I was a single mom and was 20 when I had him. So like he's my buddy, So yeah, I miss him. So I would bring Graham.
Yeah. See, my daughter Amber would be like,
I'd bring Graham.
Be like, you had one wish and you brought me, motherfucker. Yeah. You know what? Why are we both miserable now?
Great. Yeah, now we're stuck on this fucking island.
Yeah, now we're stuck on this island. You didn't have nothing else you could have brought.
There's Ronnie.
What's going on, Ronnie? The Habibi Hishy Hashy. So, all right, next.
All right. Another one.
312's finest checking in. I see. I'm not 312, 313. 312 is me.
So, all right. Well, here's one from earlier. What was the first movie you saw together?
Oh,
Gran Torino.
Yeah, Gran Torino.
I have no motherfucking idea.
I don't know.
I don't think we went to the movie theater. Oh, well, I mean, we went to the movie theater. We took the kids to see a movie, which was Dumbo together for the first time.
Oh, yeah. Yeah,
was it Dumbo?
Yeah, it was Dumbo. I think that was our first movie together.
But we brought the two little
kids.
ones.
Yeah.
Was it?
Oh my God, Dumbo!
It could
so
be.
Sad.
I know it could have been something else, but I that's the only one I can remember. Yeah.
What was the first movie everybody remember watching in the theater?
When I was a kid?
Yeah.
The first movie that I saw as a kid was E.T. in the movies.
Okay.
Does that make me old?
Yes.
I don't remember.
I saw
honestly.
E.T. and Goonies.
Yeah.
Like E.T. was my very first movie that I ever saw in the movie theater.
Yeah, I wish I remembered. My dad and I used to always go to dollar movies, but I can't remember what movie.
I feel like it might. I can't. I want to say maybe because I remember my parents back in the day used to look up movie times in the newspaper.
Yeah.
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 Oh, shit.
I want to say I feel like my mom took me to go see the first Ninja Turtles.
Oh wow.
Okay.
What about you?
My first movie, my dad took me. It was at a drive-in theater. Took the whole family. It was Jaws 3D.
Ah, Jaws.
So
nice. That was probably a good one
Jaws
to
in
see
3D. So, and then I remember going. And I don't remember all the other movies, but I remember the movie which is still my favorite, and I know it's your guys' favorite too. That I saw in the theater because me and my dad were just laughing hysterically. Was Christmas Vacation. Yeah. Yeah,
that's Eli's favorite. Like,
yeah.
Awesome.
If you don't quote that movie 10 times a day during this season,
he like transforms into him during the Christmas season for sure.
And then during the year, you always have the classic, which I know Shitter's Full. Shitter's Full. No matter
Shitter Full is universal, even amongst my family, my parents. Like, my mom will still do the Shitter's Full. You know what I mean? Like that's crazy with cousin Eddie. You know what I mean?
I remember being
later dudes.
I remember being on a construction site. When I used to do drywall, you'd come out of the porta-john and there'd be somebody waiting. That's what Shitter's Full.
My God.
That's what you would say.
Somehow, when I was a teenager, I convinced my dad to take me and some teenage girls to go see The Doors when that came out in the movie theater. And my dad basically halfway through, like, tapped me on the shoulder and he was like, I cannot allow you to stay in this movie because there was sex, drugs, and I was like, please don't embarrass me. And he did. He let us stay, but afterwards he was like forever checking whatever movie it was. Somehow I convinced him that it was just kind of like a rock show movie.
Yeah,
and he did, but he stayed. That was not part of the plan. But
at least he said he didn't embarrass you.
Yeah, but he was like, "This is some bullshit." Like, how did I take my daughter to see this movie?
And all her friends.
And all her friends.
Yeah. Because they're going to go back to their parents like, Jessica Brandt took us to go see The Doors.
Yeah. Oh, Mr. Schaefer took us to go see The Doors. Yeah, bad. I don't know why that popped into my head, but it was funny.
All right. Let's see. What is your mate's biggest fear?
Ooh.
How did you go first?
I'm gonna say not leaving behind a legacy.
Yeah. Wow.
That is true.
Wow.
That is true for my boys. Her biggest fear is spiders.
Yeah.
Oh,
for sure.
That's this one. I was
really
no spiders. I feel like every animal in the animal kingdom, like they can't agree on everything, but they can all agree spiders are dicks. Like everything from like an elephant to a snake to a lion, they all fucking hate spiders. Because every animal in the animal kingdom has walked through a fucking spider web and freaked
Ronnie
out.
just asked you not to swear. The baby's listening.
Oh, can you not swear? Yeah, Gray is listening. Thank you.
The baby's listening.
So,
just put on your AirPods because
that's it.
It's about to fucking go down, Ronnie.
Yeah, earmuffs, Gray. Earmuffs.
All right, what's mine?
What's your biggest fear?
If you don't get this right.
So I would say there may be two fears because we got Graham in the Army. You know, when you go overseas, you never. I mean, he jumps out of an airplane and shit. So you definitely don't. Jumping out of a plane and forgetting his parachute. He's a little forgetful.
No,
at times.
I would never think that. Thank you for putting that.
Oh yeah.
Oh my God!
Oh, so I thought maybe that was already.
No, how would you not know what my greatest?
But
fear
anyway,
is?
And then I would say your next greatest fear would probably be something with Wyatt you
are going deep. Why can't you just leave it on good service? It's fucking clowns, Kevin.
Clowns.
I hate clowns. You don't get to bring. Yes, I live with constant fear ever since I got pregnant and gave birth to all my kids. I always think psycho shit, but that's not something I share. Like as my intimate own turmoil of like nightmares of anything that could fucking go wrong. Thank you, Kevin. Clowns, people.
All right. Just
let's keep it basic. Clowns, okay?
You went real deep. I was like, damn, that's like my soul.
I'm like, there were like examples and everything. Like that was a lot.
And it's not like birthday clowns or whatever, or like it's more like clowns from when I was a kid, because for whatever reason somebody made this 3D like crocheted clown and framed it, and my mom hung it in my sister and I shared a room, and it was creepy as fuck, and we could swear that it like moved. So like that was like my beginning fear of clowns, but like
that sounds awful.
But yeah, so like now there's certain looks of clowns that I'm like, nope, I'm out. Like I just no, they're just fucking, and clowns are like, if you go places, they're invasive, they're in your face, and they're creepy. And then there was that guy who dressed up. Yeah, and there was that killer guy who dressed up and killed people, and he was dressed up as a clown. Like clowns are fucked up. Like they wear this like mask all the time with their makeup and their shit, and they're fucking. So that means
you don't get down with it.
Yeah.
I mean,
clowns are very aggressive.
Yeah, we seen it. Yeah, clowns are fucked up. I just don't like them. Yeah, so clowns are
I can never understand during like Halloween when people go to like the haunted houses. You couldn't fucking.
We did that one time at Universal. I thought I was gonna have a heart attack.
Absolutely not.
I thought I was gonna die. It's like
no, I would like cry. I would like shit myself. I don't know what would happen. It would be really bad.
Somebody else is deathly afraid of clowns. Good, I'm not the only.
Okay.
So they're
the worst. They really are the worst.
So no, what's my biggest fear?
I said spiders.
Oh, you said spider. Okay, that's not it.
Where have you been this whole time?
So that's
Josh, he was looking for something real more.
I guess try and go deep. Your daughter, like somehow getting in an accident.
Mine is going deep. Growing old. I fear growing old.
Oh, really? But you're also very afraid of spiders.
Yeah, so I'm very afraid of spiders. I don't want to be old.
Let me get my crystal ball out here.
My biggest fear is growing old and being lost in my own mind. So if you ever have like Alzheimer's, or people that they're 80, 90 years old, they can't function, they can't speak, and they're just sitting in a wheelchair in a nursing home or something, and you just wonder what's going through. They're replaying their entire lives because they're mentally there, but they can't.
Dated someone
that's
that
why I said Ben.
school?
I was like, Ben, Ryan, that was just me.
Yeah,
That is fucking mortifying.
What?
Absolutely.
No.
You shouldn't have dated her, obviously.
Yeah,
no.
that didn't work out.
No, that's just creepy. Like,
Oh.
is she like, I kind of want to ask, like, maybe like two personal
weird.
TMI questions, like, you know, did she dress up like that for you, like at nighttime?
Yeah,
Like,
was it like a fetish? Like, it's so weird.
Hey,
Like,
I'll tell you one thing.
Cool.
I know some people that went to clown school. I do. Yeah. And that shit's taken serious. Like the university that they go to train and then do the circus for like Ringling Brothers and all that other bullshit. Like, don't fuck with them. They take that shit to like a fucking degree.
Serious. Like when when I first moved to Florida, I was going to community college, and then I was going to try to go to Ringling for art school, and then I've been to the Ringling Museum a bunch of times, and then they have like, now it's huge because they have the actual museum with all the circus stuff, which is really cool, but the fucking clown stuff.
I grew up in Venice, Florida. That was clown. That was where the clown college was.
Yeah.
That's where clowns from all over the world went to.
But
I grew up seeing clowns.
But I don't like clowns, but I do realize, like, in that scale, it is an art, and there is like all kinds of stuff. But like when you're talking about like people you hire from the yellow page, well, there's no yellow pages now, but from like when my childhood, like you went, that's how people got hired for shit. They had ads. You know, so like when I was a kid, you go to a birthday party, that shit was fucking scary because they're weird and they touch you.
Super
like,
sketch.
Touch me. Like, I'm pretty sure that's how, like, that's a ring of pedophiles. I'm sorry. No. Fucking
gross. Yeah, who's behind all the creepy makeup? If something's going on.
Gross. Like, like I'm a clown. Like, you can trust me. No, I motherfucking can't.
No.
Jeffrey Epstein's Clown College. They're on the island.
Yeah, there's a reason why they're all in horror movies.
It's very exclusive. So, here's a good one. If your spouse were an animal, which would it be? Eli, what would Angelica be? Or Angelica, what would Eli be? An animal.
Hey, cheetah. No, she'd be a dog.
I was going to say cheetah. I've seen a lot of those videos she posts. She likes the cheetah print. You know, so
that's what I always say. I was like, hey, cheetah.
I don't know.
Yeah, that one's a little hard for me to think for you, but I know if you get mine wrong, you will die. Jessica said she'd be a sloth. I love that.
Yeah.
That's our older son for sure. He resonates with the sloth. Yeah, I don't know what you'd be. I really have to think about that one.
Yeah. All right, what's mine?
You're an owl.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Love that.
I like seeing all the owl memes. Do you see the owl memes?
Yes.
Yeah.
It's always some shit with these guys, and their legs are up, and they're like sitting.
Did you see the one?
All this weird shit.
Did you see the one that's real, where the one owl was flying around with that like horse that's on a stick, like the horse head for little kids that they can play with?
No,
it actually was flying around with it.
It picked it up.
It was flying around with it, and people took pictures of it. It was like the fucking freakiest thing. I was like, what the fuck? How does that even happen?
They're very cute and very funny.
Yes.
That's it. So Eli, what animal would you be?
What animal would I be?
I know, I'm really having a hard time with that.
Yeah, I definitely, the two that always fascinate me a horse. I've always loved horses. And whenever we go to like the zoo, I always like looking at the lions and stuff, but a horse, there's just something about a horse that just speaks to my soul. We live not that far from an area where there's a big ranch where they like an equestrian farm.
Nice.
And I just slow drive, and when I leave early, if I leave a little extra early for work, they're out there, grazing and eating grass, and it's just like, that's an animal that I can look like, and I feel it in my fucking heart. Where I'm just like,
that's awesome. Yeah, that would be my second animal. For you, I would pick a kangaroo.
A kangaroo?
Only because that's Amber's favorite.
Yeah, I mean, I like it because they're jacked. They like to fight all the time and just fuck shit up. You know, so yeah, kangaroo or a Sasquatch.
Oh, a Sasquatch.
You know,
Well,
definitely,
I only
yeah,
picked the kangaroo
Bigfoot.
because I know that's
Big-
your daughter's favorite animal.
yeah,
So I thought
Bigfoot. You know, just fuck with people all the time. You know, just that'd be it. So, Angelica, what would you be? What would your animal be?
I think I really would be like a leopard.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I like how they move. I like that they're beautiful. Yeah, I really like that. I think he'd be something like similar to that, like I don't know, maybe like a panther or something like that. I don't know. He's very quiet in his movements, but if you like once you get him there, it's like over. You know?
I would think maybe like a gazelle. Like he'd be a gazelle.
A gazelle.
You know? I don't know.
I call you a gazelle. Like when we were. It's funny.
I love that.
Shirtless Mike stayed with us in our hotel room and stuff. And when Mike and I were walking with Kevin, Mike's like, how the fuck does he walk that fast on a hurt knee? I said, I don't know. Even like before his knee, like I cannot keep up. And I feel like I have to run. Because
my legs are five. My legs are
so
5
long. Yeah.
He had his suitcase, and I was like, it gave him even more momentum. He was like, fucking God. And here Mike and I are like out of breath.
I use it like a cane,
trying to fucking catch up
wheels.
to Kevin and Mike. And I just looked at Mike. I'm like, welcome to my fucking world. I'm like, Kevin doesn't even wait for me. He is gone.
A cane with wheels.
Yeah, he's fucking gone. I'm like, whatever. I don't even care anymore. I can always find him. So it's like.
That's it. So all right, one more for the night, and we'll.
All right.
We'll do a
it popped up on your screen here. Oh, there we go. Okay.
All right. Okay. Your spouse asks you to grab them a treat from the store on the way home. What do you buy? Eli, what do you buy Angelica on the way home? She wants a treat. She says, "Pick me up something."
You're gonna get it wrong.
Quest bar. No. If I have to, if it's a treat for her to eat, it would definitely have to be.
You don't know. You don't know. That's why you're like,
No, I always get you some form of dark chocolate when I go to Walgreens or stuff like that. I always get you like that. But yeah, you said, but okay, I'm not gonna get it no more.
Yeah.
What was that?
Nope. No, I would. I mean, there's a lot of things that.
That's what I'm saying. That's the other thing. Is she's a snack queen.
Oh.
So there's various. It depends, because I could be like, oh, I could get her some form of like fucking kettle cooked popcorn, or I could get her some chocolate, or I could go ahead.
You even got me the wrong popcorn the other day.
No, I got you the right one. You just wanted my mix.
Yeah.
What is this snack that you would want, Your Highness?
You're like, so you can note it down and put it in your notes.
Nah.
I also like Reese's.
Oh yeah.
That's his. His would be Reese's for sure. Either Reese's or Payday.
Payday.
Payday. I tore up some Payday back in the day.
He loves those.
I love Payday. Now, for me, I would pick up Jessica a pretzel from Wawa.
That's good. That's perfect.
Ooh.
Yeah. Yours would be chocolate chip cookies.
Yeah, chocolate chip cookies. I will fuck up some chocolate chip cookies. Sorry, Ronnie.
Yeah.
Oh man, my mother-in-law's friend.
Ronnie's probably not even on anymore. He's probably like,
dude. My mother-in-law's friend, and her friend's real vintage, if you know what I mean. She makes some super old school chocolate chip cookies. They're the fucking they're like paper thin, but oh my god, man. My mother-in-law's like always
a cookie fanatic.
Yeah.
Like he is always on the hunt for like any but it's not like like Chips Ahoy. Like he wants like real,
legit.
Yeah,
I'm a cookie snob. I am a snob when it comes.
He really is. Like when I met him, because I'm not a huge snacker. Like I don't really like a lot of like junk food. Like I don't sit there and eat. I'll eat a lot of popcorn, but I like desserts. Like I'll eat like a tiramisu or like something like that. Like if that to me that was like that's a treat. I don't know. It's weird.
Yeah,
but maybe that's like my upbringing because like I remember like we weren't allowed to have like a lot of soda or like chips and stuff. So but like as an adult, like I ate like when I was like 18, like I can eat whatever the fuck I want, but I don't really crave that. But Kevin,
you don't know about bougie. Hey, what do you want from the store? Pick me up a tiramisu.
I
who the fuck's got that tiramisu?
Publix does.
Yeah, I know.
Fucking Publix sells it. You can get like
honestly, everyone has tiramisu now. Like Aldi has a really good. I love tiramisu.
It's so
Aldi has a good tiramisu. I mean, but like I will hunt down a good donut. Like in any state that I'm in, I will always look for the nearest donut shop, regardless.
Yeah, I like a lot more like salty stuff. So yeah, pretzel would definitely be my go-to. Yeah. Oh my god, it's so
I just noticed. Not to be random, I noticed like about an hour and a half into this that there was a comment side of this thing. And so I just discovered it. But did Ben say? Is he saying that he would have a bottle of Pinot Grigio as a snack?
Is that what he said?
Yeah.
Oh my god. Yeah. Ben also wants to be a jellyfish. So.
Yeah. He wants to be a jellyfish sipping Pinot Grigio all day long.
I was like, yeah, for my snack.
Yeah, I never saw that.
For his wife, he was answering.
Okay, yeah.
Okay.
That's like the weirdest character in Little Mermaid was a jellyfish sipping Pinot Grigio. I didn't see that. I didn't see that in the cartoon.
Oh my god, I love that. That's fucking hilarious. Thank you for clarifying.
That's it. So thank you guys for coming on. DJ, what do you got coming up in 2023? You're doing all the barn smokers. You're going to be at TPE again.
Yeah. So word should be out officially soon, but I could share it with you guys here. Yeah, you'll catch me at TPE next year. I'll be out and about with the Drew Estate folks. We'll be holding it down there. And I saw Gallimore checking in here a little while ago. Maybe he's still peeping and hustling. Shout out to RG. We'll all be in full force for TBE. TBE is one of my favorite trade shows to do. So we're going to be there kicking that off. Then we're going to start rolling into we're going to start getting your barn smoker schedule set. There might be a few other goodies that might trickle in that unfortunately due to non-disclosure agreements I can't fully talk about, but hopefully they come into fruition. Obviously, keep an eye out. Don't have a date yet, but you got the JD is opening the Wynwood bar down in Wynwood, so make sure you guys stay tuned to that Instagram page to see the grand opening for that, because I might have a little bit of involvement with that as well down in Miami in the Wynwood district. But yeah, we'll start rolling into those events next year. Barn Smoker season, we're coming full force. Everybody saw us come back out this year. It was so funny, man. I just add real quick. Shout out to everybody that came out. Love you guys. Love the support. You guys are fucking awesome all year long. But it was funny to see in the beginning the hesitance of some folks, and then they realized when the shit was going down, it was fucking going down, and then tickets all sold out immediately. And I had DMs from multiple people trying to say, "Hey, can you hook it up? Can you hook it up?" I'm telling you, next year, don't fucking snooze. Do not snooze, because it's again going to be another eventful year, and you got to see everybody enjoy themselves and have a good time. So that's what we got going out for next year. So stay tuned.
I know. I was going to say congratulations to Jessica and Elizabeth for tying the knot. Finally getting married.
Finally.
Yes. Unfortunately, due to some schedule restrictions and some other stuff, they actually reached out for me to DJ their wedding. Unfortunately, I couldn't. I felt real bad, but they asked me to do a little mix for them for their intro. And I'm so glad that fucking worked out. And I'm glad you guys had a little bit of piece of me there while you guys were enjoying your time. Once again, congratulations. We love y'all dearly.
Right on. And then Angelica, you're gonna be doing more of the Bonafide BS shows coming up.
We will. I told them we missed it. It's been a busy week and we have to do it. So there'll be a new one coming.
Her eyes are not tired. They'll be rolling when I say things.
Oh my god, that was so. I said to Kevin, I go, how did they zoom in? I go, how did they zoom in on her face? He goes, I did that. I go, I'm sure she's gonna love that.
We're fucking dying. I don't know if people got to see because I know we got a different view from what everybody else got back here on the backside. Yeah. But we were fucking dying laughing back here. I forgot about that conversation. And being her fucking face, I was like, that's the type of face she was giving me that night in the club when I said, I'm going to VIP. Just watch her from the top while she's down at the bottom with all the others.
Oh my god. I love that. It's so funny.
Right on. So thank you both for coming on, spending almost 2 hours of your Monday night with us. We definitely appreciate it.
Yes.
No problem at all. Thank you for having us. I really appreciate you reaching out, letting us be a part of this. Everybody continue to tune into the show. You know, Kevin just doing an awesome job. As Kev said before, all the information shared below, Bonafide Bullshit Podcast, Bonafide_BS on Instagram. Check in with us. If you guys do have any personal messages or any things you might want to share with us, open up. We're an open book, or you could reach us on our personal Instagrams. I'm at SMKM_E. That's Smoking E. She's at FitMessMom. So guys, hit us up, reach out. We appreciate the time. It's been a blast. This was fucking awesome.
And those Instagram links are in the video description below as well. So just check them out so you don't have to remember anything. You can come back tomorrow, whatever, and those links are there.
Nice.
So, all right, guys, you have a great night.
You guys too. Peace. Appreciate it. Much love, everybody in the chat. See y'all.
See ya. All right, let's hear a little word from our sponsor. Over here, brand Corona Cigar.
Kevin thinks that I couldn't.
All right. What an absolutely fantastic show. Thank you, everybody, for watching. In the future podcast, thank you for listening in. Next week is going to be our last show of the season.
I'm gonna call you out. Kevin didn't want to do the giveaway tonight because we have one more show. But the giveaway, listen, it doesn't matter. Yeah. So we're gonna do a giveaway next week for our final.
Yes, I didn't put enough packs together, so I have nothing else to give away. But since we just visited the Ybor City Cigar Heritage Festival,
so obviously we both got cigars, so I don't need all these cigars, so I put the pack together, and so we'll have a decent giveaway for our last show, and then hopefully when we come back we'll be able to do some more giveaways.
That's it. So next week's our last show of the year. We'll come back like the second week of January. Give us all time to get refreshed, get some new guests on. But next week we finally, after like months and months, Rick Rodriguez of West Tampa Cigars. I've been trying to get a hold of Rick. He's got a date open. Yeah. I don't. I have a date open. He doesn't. So we finally saw him, talk to his amazing daughter, Sarah. And I'm like, hey, we had a cancellation last minute. Can you come on next week? So it'd be amazing to talk with Rick Rodriguez. Remember, coming up this Thursday, December 8th, 7 to 10, Corona Cigar Sand Lake in Orlando. Red Meat Lovers Club presents One Night with FSG. Going to be celebrating beef, brown spirits, and Drew Estate cigars. There is a link in the video description. Definitely, I'll be up there. It's going to be a fantastic event. Also, in the links down below, following Cigar Prop producer Jessica. Kerr Viajante, unfortunately not with us tonight, but his links are in the show notes down below as well. Once again, thank you for all of our partners for making this happen each and every week. I believe so far 90% of them are going to be with us again next year. Yeah. So it's going to be an exciting new year going into 2023. And
send out all the good vibes at the lounge.
The lounge, the lounge is supposed to be done by December, but now we're probably looking at February.
He keeps saying March, but I have hopes that will be sooner.
We definitely have hope. So thank you. All of our partners, like I said, JC Newman Cigars, CigarMedics, Amendola Cigars. We are the muscle. Excelsior Tobacco, makers of the Doña Lydia. So speaking of that, I was speaking with Pete Hernandez. He is a local broker here in Florida. He does Aladino. He does Dunbarton Tobacco and Trust, but he also does Doña Lydia for the Oliva family of the tobacco family, not the Oliva Cigar Company. And I loved it. He came up to me. He goes, hey, man, thank you so much for showing so much love to the Doña Lydia. And I go, man, that is a cigar that is near and dear to my heart because it is a fantastic cigar. It's the only cigar the Oliva Tobacco Company makes, honoring the matriarch of the family. So if you can find the Doña Lydia anywhere, please pick one up. It is an absolute fantastic cigar. And like I told Pete, I go, man, I said, the love is real because we don't have companies on that we don't believe in, that we don't love and don't support. So if they didn't make a great cigar, I'm not going to tout it. So please check out the Doña Lydia. GTO Cigars, those who know smoke GTO, Dr. Oscar Rodriguez. We got to see him this weekend as well. Corona Cigar, thank you, Jeff. Everything, the fantastic tour that you gave us of the FSG farm. Make sure you're paying attention to the Cigar Prop YouTube channel. We got some cool videos coming out. We got some drone footage of the Ybor City Cigar Heritage Festival, and we got some cool drone footage of the FSG farm. Jeff and the crew at FSG or Corona Cigar has just been with us from day one, so we definitely love them. And of course, we got Ryan Gallimore, LRG, little Ryan Gallimore. Thank you, Drew Estate. Thank you for everything. And of course, Experience Acid. So on that note, we will see everybody next week.
Bye.
Thank you.